life is short and bittersweet. Thank God for this Thanksgiving Day.
So next week, it is finally here, Thanksgiving Day. And many of us will be at a table just like this one, gathered around with our family and friends to celebrate Thanksgiving. And my bet is our tables will look a little different on that day. They will be overflowing. This is when you put the extra leaves in the table. This is where you pull out all the stops, you put on the nice china, you do everything you can to load up that table, because that table will be filled and overflowing with food. Did you know the average American actually consumes 4,500 calories on Thanksgiving Day, just between the meal, the drinks, the desserts? That doesn't even include if you eat breakfast on Thanksgiving Day. It is a true feast. And I don't know what your family's traditions are. My family, usually we have the Thanksgiving feast around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. We eat all the good stuff, the turkey, the green bean casserole, the mashed potatoes, the rolls, the corn, whatever else you need, just you name it, it's on the table for that day. And then hours later, after we've eaten this huge feast, we finally pull out whatever pies we have for dessert. But I've noticed a problem I have over the last couple of years, and this has been a problem as long as, honestly, I can remember with Thanksgiving, is my favorite dessert, actually the whole year, is pumpkin pie. I know, I'm weird, right? I don't really like sweets that much, to be honest. I'm very picky. Homemade chocolate chip cookies right out of the oven? Yes. For my birthday, I love chocolate cake. My mom and now my wife have always done an amazing chocolate cake. But if I only have one dessert, one day of the whole year, I would pick pumpkin pie because I like it that much. But the problem I have every year is on Thanksgiving Day, I'm not hungry for it because I eat way too much at the Thanksgiving feast. No matter how many hours later we have dessert, I look at that pie thinking, oh, I just don't have room to enjoy this. Now, why am I talking about this? Besides the fact that it is Thanksgiving next week and maybe this post is getting you really hungry. But I think a lot of times in our lives, we treat God as the pumpkin pie. Meaning we treat God as the thing that's at the very end, that's meant to just enhance our lives or be something extra. It isn't the main course. It isn't on the table right away. It ends up being that thing, if we have time, we will get to it. I think there's 2 really big negative consequences to this. First, if we get any busier, if we get any fuller, guess what? The number one thing that gets bumped out is God. And all those things we have in our lives are good things. God even says this in the Bible. These are important things, like our family, our friends, our activities, our jobs that provide for us. All those are really good things. The challenge is when those things overtake God and push God out of the way. And the second major consequence I see to this is these priorities. See, every day we have a choice. We have lots of choices, in fact, of what we're going to do, what we're going to fit into our day. And when we end up constantly putting God low on the priority scale, our relationship with God is going to suffer. And it's not going to suffer because of Him. It's going to suffer because of us. Because if we keep pushing Him the priority scale, we'll maybe miss a Sunday at church. We'll forget to pray for a while. We will push God off and out of the way. Because honestly, the devil wants it that way. The devil wants us to be busy. The devil wants to distract us so we don't continue to go to God. So my challenge for you this Thanksgiving is to do this. Eat the pumpkin pie first. That's right. You have permission from me. If you love pumpkin pie, or hey, even if it's pecan pie or something else that is the sweet dessert, eat it for lunch that day. Hey, maybe even eat it. I think you could even have this as a breakfast. Now, why do I say that? Because it could be a great reminder for all of us that we need to make more room for God in our lives. Because I don't know if you've ever prayed this prayer, just God show me, just God remind me of your presence. Well, we need to make sure we make room in our lives so we can hear. We need to stop to listen so we can actually hear that God is in our lives and making a difference. So I pray that you and your family have a very happy Thanksgiving, but I hope you find a way to continue to look at your priority list. What do you have going on? Where can God be pushed up on that list? What can you do? Maybe it's setting reminders on your phone to pray. Maybe it's getting a daily Bible app that'll send you Bible verses. Maybe it's getting a prayer partner where you guys text each other and hold each other accountable. Because in a month, we're going to be celebrating another very big holiday. We're going to be celebrating Christmas, where God came to this earth. See, that's how important we were to God. God came here, left his place in heaven to come save us. So we can figure out, how do we increase God in our lives? How do we work at that? How do we reset our priorities? And my prayer is that Thanksgiving is an example and a reminder to you to do that.